2-1. Kirk coming back for a look, but it's in the seats. Grounded to first. Guerrero finds it and wins the race. 3 up, 3 down. Gosman needed that. The inning, the Blue Jays coming up, leading 3-2. When they were chatting side by side at first base a couple of innings ago, Devers is 2 years older than Vladdy, basically, about 2 more seasons of experience. But if you look at their numbers, it's very interesting how similar they have been. Again, this is since Vladdy entered the majors, so this takes out the first couple of years for Rafael Devers. And who knows what the future holds, but is that 10-year, $313 million contract, is that kind of a comp for Vladdy at some point, whether it's with the Blue Jays or somebody else?
Yeah, you have to think so, given the success he's had and his age and where Devers was when he signed that a couple of years ago. I think Devers is a guy that a lot of people think, okay, now these are 2 young players that are probably going to play a lot against each other throughout their career. Devers in Boston and Vladdy here in Toronto, of course. Vladdy's, 2 years away from free agency this year and 1 more after next year?
Yes, he's got 24 and 25. Yeah. Unlike Bo Bichette, Bo signed through 25. Vladdy's been going year to year. Here's Nick Pivetta, the Victoria, BC native, into the game as this bullpen day continues. He was in the rotation, was not faring all that well. They have moved him to the bullpen, and the results have really ticked up for Pivetta. The Devers thing is really interesting, though, because there was a lot of backlash after Bogaerts went to San Diego. And shortly after that, Boston signed Devers, and it's kind of like, well, they had to. They traded Betts, they lost Bogaerts, they got it. And, it's a big revenue team, obviously. Swing and a miss by Guerrero. And it's 1-1. He got Connor Wong with a backswing, but Wong appears to be okay.
Yeah, the Red Sox kind of painted themselves into a corner after trading Betts and letting Bogaerts walk to free agency. They had to sign Devers. I mean, there would have been a rebellion in New England.
Vladdy thought it was low. It's 1-2.
Okay, he just surpassed Hamilton for the furthest distance away from home.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, this breaking ball right at the bottom of the zone. Yeah. Borderline pitch. Could have gone either way, and it goes in the Red Sox favor. Pavetta's really pitched well out of the pen. In 12 relief appearances, he is a .270 earned run average.
You would figure to be a guy who can give Alex Cora more than an inning. Obviously, is a guy who has been a starter. The Red Sox have already used 3 pitchers today, but Pivetta, if he does well, probably out there for a while. Fastball lined and a nice play made by Hamilton at short to take a base hit away from Guerrero.
Yeah, Vladdy got to that pitch pretty good. It was inside, pretty good fastball from Pivetta, but he lines it to the shortstop, and did a nice play. It's big out for Pavetta. First batter he faced here in the fourth inning.
Curveball stays high, ball one to Matt Chapman, who struck out his first time up. Grounded down to third. Devers up with it. And another good play by Devers, 2 down. The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to the ballpark. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Nice big Sunday crowd. Junior Jays Sunday here at the Rogers Center. 3-2 Jays, bottom 4. No longer a junior Jay. Varsho now 27 years old. Again, his birthday today. He hit a fly ball to right field his first time up.
Varsho has a couple of at-bats. He's 2-3 against Pavetta with a home run. It's not to see him get going. I think if he were swinging the bat more consistently, you could do more things with him in the lineup as far as your lineup construction.
Well, you and I played a little game before the game today that I think a ton of Blue Jay fans have played. What would you do with the batting order?
Yeah, I would switch it up a little bit. I'd certainly try to put George Springer in a more productive RBI spot. I think I could see Springer hitting fifth behind Vladdy. The Red Sox thought that Varsho win, but he got the favorable call from the third base umpire. But George is stringing about really well right now, and I think he presents more of a protection issue for Vladdy in the fifth spot, hitting behind him.
So who would hit first?
You could go first. I think you could hit Whit Merrifield first. I think he gives you an on-base opportunity and some speed top of the order. I think you could, I think right now the biggest concern has been Brandon Belt. We've talked about his strikeouts, and he's hitting in that third spot. And he's had a lot of strikeouts. Yeah, he hit a home run today, but this is his first home run since June 7th. But I think there are options in what you could do, mixing up the lineup a little bit. They've been consistent most of the year, and they've stuck with it. And when Brandon Belt got hot, they moved him into the third spot, but he's cooled off some since.
Because at the beginning, it was Springer, Bichette, Vladdy, Chapman, right?
Yeah.
But Chapman was on a tear in April, winning American League Player of the Month. Springer's been a leadoff hitter for a long time. His first couple of years in the big leagues, he was either 1 or 2, depending on what they were doing with Jose Altuve in Houston. But, as Hazel talked about before, 56 leadoff home runs. Obviously, he's been a leadoff hitter for several years right now.
And he's very good at it. I'm not suggesting that they could do better than Springer in the leadoff spot. I'm suggesting that Springer could be more productive if he had a few more guys on base.
And it could help Vladdy, you think, if Springer was right behind him?
Yeah, I do, because Springer has cut down his strikeout rate. He has got a reputation of being a big-time run producer, and I just think it would help the lineup. But then again, I'm sitting up here next to you, so that doesn't really have an impact.
Yeah.
I had my chance.
I wonder, Bichette, Guerrero, Springer are their 3 best teams.
Right,
So,
no question.
So those are the 3 guys I want up as much as possible. I don't know if they'd move George. I don't even know if they've talked about moving George up to the leadoff spot. But what would you say to Bichette, Guerrero, Springer? Putting Springer 3, so he gives Vladdy protection, but you've got those guys still 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and that's the key in this day and age. Everybody is always aware, trying to get 3 best hitters to the plate in the first inning. That's why the number 2 spot, you've seen a lot of impact bats in that number 2 spot.
Yeah.
But we've talked about the Atlanta Braves a little bit and their construction. They have a plus 62 run differential in the first inning. They've outscored their opponents by 62 runs in the first inning. And Ronald Acuna Jr. has a lot to do with that. How about Matt Olsen, what he's done lately. He's got 10 home runs in his last 14 games. But their lineup is pretty potent. They might be the best team in baseball.
As good as the Rays look, as good as the Rangers look. I'm with you. Atlanta's right there. 2-2 now in Merrifield. Fly ball to right field. Verdugo going back, and he'll make the catch to end the inning. No runs, no hits, a man left. 3-2 Blue Jays at the end of 4. Coming up after this game today, they will actually fly to Chicago tonight, but not start a series with the White Sox until Tuesday night at 3 in Detroit before the All-Star break. Then the Diamondbacks and Padres come to town to open up the second half before the always fun trip to Seattle. So an off day tomorrow, which allows the Blue Jays to consider some things in terms of how they want to line up their pitching between now and the All-Star break. They're going to need that fifth spot, whatever that means right now. It's been Richards and Bowden Francis recently. They're going to need it once more before the break. They have already announced Bassett, Barrios, Kikuchi Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in Chicago. Then it would either be Gausman on regular reps, and then the fifth spot on Saturday before back to Bassett on Sunday, or you could go the fifth spot on Friday and push Gausman back a day to Saturday, and we all know how different the numbers are for him on 4 days rest and extra rest.
Yeah, it would be an opportunity to give him that extra day's rest, and it doesn't make any difference to the opener. The way they're going to decide it will be how they deploy the bullpen up to that point. Who's available, who has to pitch, and then they'll decide what they're going to do. But there is the long-term possibility that Alek Manoah might be available for that start. He's starting tonight. And, and it sounds kind of crazy because he didn't fare well in his first outing. But I think if he goes out and, dominates, throws a lot of strikes and gets his breaking ball over, he might become an option.
Nice play by Guerrero as Wong is retired. Manoah starting tonight at Double-A New Hampshire. And we asked John Schneider yesterday, will anybody from the organization be watching him? And he said, oh, yes, there will be several people. I think it's in Portland, Maine, where the game is.
Right.
He said there will be several people on hand watching this game.
Yeah, and they'll have their minor league pitching coaches there watching, and they'll all try to make some decisions about his progress. I was surprised that they bumped him up to Double-A, and that's why I changed my opinion on when he might get back. If he pitches well and pitches and throws a lot of strikes and his velocity's okay and he can break the breaking ball like he has in the past, then they might consider him for that opportunity.
Actually, the game is against Portland, but it is in New Hampshire. Here's Jaron Durant bidding for his third double of the game, and he's got it.
You know, he's been one of their top minor league prospects for a while, but he is kind of being inconsistent, and now it looks like he's trying to make a bid for everyday action, and he's off to a good start today. 3 plate appearances, 3 doubles, and he's hit 1 double to each field, left, right, and now center. Look at the effort by Durant. Terrific hustle. And he is trying to win some regular playing time. That's how you do it.
Third 3-double game of the season already, and 24 on the season in all. And he's in second with 1 out for Justin Turner.
It's the 3rd time that Turner has hit with Durant at second base, obviously. He was called out on strikes in the first, drew a walk in the third, and now he steps up with another runner in scoring position.
Turner looks at a strike at 98. And the bullpen's going, Buck. Tim Mays is now up in the pen.
Yeah, and, you know, you talk about pitch count and trying to figure out what's the next start's going to be. I'm sure they're considering all those factors. Gosman's already thrown 87 pitches, and here we are with 1 out in the 5th.
Well, it's interesting if you look at where they are in the lineup. Verdugo and Devers are the next 2 hitters, right? The 2 left-handed batters, 2 good left-handed batters. But Gausman obviously has earned the right for John Schneider to have a lot of faith in him, given how he's pitched here in Toronto. This is, I mean, you were down there in the dugout. This is one of those very interesting decisions. Slow bouncer to short. Bichette has it. And they will get Turner at first for the second out. The runner holds.
Yeah, that ball had a lot of spin on it. You can see Bo looking at his hand as if to suggest he had trouble gripping that ball because he kind of just goosed it over to first base and gave Roddy a tough little short hop. You can see how he takes his time and then bounces it over there and looks at his hand as if that ball was still spinning in his hand. He had good grip on it.
So 2 down. Here's Verdugo, who is 0 for 2. You know, the Mesa part of the equation, too, obviously, with each reliever, they look for parts in the lineup where they think a reliever is best suited to pitch. Obviously, for Mesa, it would be against the lefties, but there's Casas down in the 6th spot as well. And again, this is Kevin Gausman. This is a guy who has earned the right to try to get as deep into the game as he can. Left side, 2-1.
Yeah, we had mentioned how Gausman has had his problems with the Red Sox lineup lately, but that's not the case with Verdugo. He's 0 for 2 today and 1 for 13 going up against Kevin Gausman. They'd like to end this inning right here and leave Durant stranded as second.
97 at the knees, 2-2.
That'll always work. I don't care who's in 97 at the knees. It's tough.
How come everybody can't do that?
Yeah, just go ahead and throw it down there at 97.
You know, and he'll be the first to tell you he's not going to win the bench press competition on the team either. But boy, 97, 98 with his fastball. 98 right there. It's impressive.
You know what? He's a little bit like Jacob DeGrom, same type of build. Jim Palmer, they were long and lean and long levers and good action. He's very flexible, has great extension down the mound, and finishes up very well. Baseball is a sport you can't muscle. It's more like a ballet than a street fight. I mean, in football, you can pack on 30 pounds of muscle and manhandle your opponent. Not the case in baseball. It's a touch and feel game.
His four-seam fastball velocity is up about 1.5 miles today over his season average.
You see, that's why all those numbers on 4 days rest and 5 days rest, they're just kind of arbitrary. I mean, you just don't know how a pitcher's going to feel on a given day. He's pitching on regular rest today, and he's got his best fastball he's had all season. So next time out, he might have a extra day's rest, and maybe that fastball won't be clicking the way it is today. Pitchers will tell you that. You just never know what you're going to feature on a given day.
2-2 again. Splitter in the dirt, and now full. Got a good hitter at the plate. You got a really dangerous guy in the on-deck circle in Rafael Devers.
Devers is already 2-2 with 2 RBI singles against guys.
3-2. Line drive, center field. Kiermaier's there. Gausman gets out of it, keeps Devers in the on-deck circle. The Blue Jays still lead. But there is baseball on the Sportsnet family of networks. It's the Cubs and the Brewers at 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific time on Sportsnet and Sportsnet Now. Moments to go, Kevin Gausman back in the dugout. Handshake from John Schneider. Pete Walker then came up and did the same. He got Verdugo. Devers is leading off 98 pitches through 5. Again, they made him work right from the first inning. Some long at-bats, and it appears as if Kevin Gausman is done.
A walk and 7 strikeouts through 5 innings, but you're right, they made him work. He didn't throw a lot of pitches, but once again, he pitched out of some tough situations, made a great pitch on Verdugo to get the inning-ending line drop.
3-2 Blue Jays. Alejandro Kirk leading it off. Popped up his first time on. And another thing, too, is John Schneider can afford to be aggressive with the bullpen because they've got an off day tomorrow. So Mesa didn't pitch yesterday. Mesa and Romano have not pitched in the series so far.
those are all great points, Dan. And you factor all of those things into making your decision when you want to trade. And one thing, too, that's important is Rafael Devers is leading off the top of the sixth. So, as they often do, Bassett and Gosman debriefing a little bit after Bassett's out.
Kiermaier with a base hit to left. His first time up was on the front end of a double steal and eventually came to the score. Big looping curveball from Nick Pivetta drops in for a strike.
Breaking ball coming down and in towards your legs. Kiermaier got on top of it and found it right down into his legs. Not sure if he got the front foot or back foot, but he's got that shin guard on his right foot. Might have bounced up and hit him, and this curveball. See, it bounces up and hits him inside the leg and then bounces a little higher.
1-2 the count. And a fastball upstairs, 2-2. Swing and a miss. Pivetta strikes him out. 2 down.
And Nick Pivetta, we mentioned how well he's been throwing a baseball, working out the pen. And when you come out of the pen after being a starter, you don't necessarily think about 5 innings, 6 innings. You think about at bat to at bat. And he elevates the fastball. Kiermaier's late on it after having a curveball earlier in the at bat that he fouled off. Then he goes upstairs.
So with 2 down, here's George Springer, who is 1 for 2. Wow. That, I don't know how that missed Pivetta. He is a fortunate man. Springer hit it like a rocket, but hit it out to Kike Hernandez at second. George is hitting everything on the screws right now, and that just missed Pivetta's head by about a foot. 3-2 Blue Jays. Let's get an update now with Jamie Campbell. Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. Join us July the 18th when the Padres are in town. Visit BlueJays.com/tickets today. Well, it was clear early that the Red Sox were putting up some good at-bats against Kevin Gausman, fouling off a lot of pitches. They made him throw 98 over 5, but only walked 1, struck out 7, and only gave up 2 runs.
Yeah, he did a nice job of minimizing the impact of those 5 hits. In fact, how about 3 doubles by Jared Duran, and he scored twice, and that was the only damage that Osmond gave up. He's in line for the win now. He'll turn things over to Tim Mazer. First half of bullpen here this afternoon. Tim last week stopped Thursday. Had 1, 2, 3, 8th inning. He needed just 11 pitches to get out of that 8th inning against the Giants.
So lefty with Rafael Devers, who looks at a strike. Devers a pair of RBI singles. Rob Refsnyder's on deck, then Tristan Casas. So Mesa's going to face a couple of left-handed batters if Alex Cora doesn't make any changes. Devers has his third hit of the game.
Yeah, we got a scout report from some of the Boston media saying, Devers isn't really swinging the bat that well. I don't know if they were looking at Rafael Devers or Pete Devers, because Rafael Devers is swinging it great. My goodness, it's a good slider right there. His third hit of the afternoon. And Tim Mesa, he has hit Mesa well. Devers is 5 for 11 against the left-hander. He's had good success against him.
And now Refsnyder with Devers running, and it's a base hit into right center. Devers can easily come around the third. How about that from Alex Cora?
Now, we told you that they're playing with house money. They won the first 2 games of this series, so they can roll the dice. And after Devers gets on base, he puts the hit and run on with Rob Refsnyder, and Devers got a good break. And Merrifield trying to decoy Devers into hesitating around second, but he didn't think the bait. Pretty hit and run right there.
Refsnyder with huge splits, much better numbers against lefties this year. Devers was running on the play, and 3 pitches into Tim Mesa's outing. It's first and third, nobody out for Tristan Casas.
And Pete Walker out trying to help Mesa with a game plan against the big lefty. Casas struck out his first time up this afternoon. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He's now struck out 71 times, so Mesa has that in his back pocket. The strikeout as Jimmy Garcia starts to throw. So if Mesa can strike out Casas, then Garcia can come in and face Kike Hernandez.
Yep.
And Yoshida is questionable about his availability to pinch hit.
Right, so they might not have any left-handed bats on the bench at all. Got to face 3 batters, this the third.
Strikeout, pop up, whatever.
Bouncer foul.
Only the second time Tristan Casas has faced Mesa. He's 0 for 1. Deep in his kitchen with that 2-seam fastball. Now you've got the option, if you're Mesa, throwing a slider down and away or throwing a fastball down and away. You've put the inside heater in the mind of the hitter. So he's now thinking, man, I just got beat by that fastball. Will he open up and become vulnerable to a pitch on the outside? That's where I'd go first. Came back inside, another good sinking fastball. Mesa has really developed that sinking fastball over the last couple of years. It's become a pitch he can throw to any part of the plate.
Devers the runner at third, Refsnyder at first, nobody out here in the Boston 6th.
Mesa's splits are kind of interesting. He's actually got a better opponent's batting average against righties than he does lefties. Left-handers against Mesa. They've hit 254. Right-handers just 239.
Oh, 2. And another foul off.
Staying inside to Casas.
That's given Jimmy Garcia a chance to throw a few more pitches, so he should be ready for whenever the time may come that John Schneider wants to make a change. It could very well be after Casas, no matter what happens in this event. Bounced foul up the first baseline. Vetta's given the Red Sox a couple of innings out of the bullpen. 2 scoreless innings. Keep his team within a run.
All he's given up is a walk and a strikeout. He has not allowed Blue Jays a base hit in those 2 innings.
0-2 yet again, and it's a slider way outside for ball 1.
Gus is trying to convince himself of what's next.
And he got him. Tied him up inside with a fastball for the first out.
Well, looked great movement on that 2-seamer, and Tim was really focused on getting that ball inside, and he did the entire at-bat. Time passes, and this one just drops down and in. He swings over the top of it. That's a big strikeout, and here comes the skipper right on cue.
With the right hand hitting Kike Hernandez due up next. John Schneider's on his way to the mound. And he wants Jimmy Garcia. Coming your way later this afternoon on Sportsnet 360, it's the American League East Division leading Tampa Bay Rays taking on the Seattle Mariners. Taj Bradley, Luis Castillo. I'll take the under.
Yeah, you expected the same in the game yesterday. Tanner Glasnow against George Kirby, but Glasnow got touched up for 3 runs on 7 hits. Kirby gave him 2 runs on 2 hits over 7 innings, and Seattle won that game 8-3. They really got to the Tampa Bay bullpen, scored 1 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. Jimmy Garcia pitched yesterday through 15 pitches. He retired the side in order, had a strikeout.
Kike Hernandez reaching for the first pitch, a breaking ball away, and he fouls it out of play 0-1. First and third, 1 out. The Blue Jays up a run here in the 6th inning, trying to salvage the final game of the series. There's a game in the books already today. Remember, there's an early Sunday game every day, and Baltimore got 2 in the 8th to beat Minnesota 2-1. Yankees are down 1-0 to St. Louis. The Astros are down 1-0 to the Rangers.
This is an opportunity for Kike Hernandez to push a run towards second base. Merrifield is way up the middle. No idea of showing one right there. digs it inside. Strike now. That's out of the question with an 0-2 count.
Keep an eye on Ref Snyder over at first. Devers the runner at third. Ref Snyder got a huge jump. And by the time Garcia is alerted or heard about it and through to second, Ref Snyder still stole the base.
Yeah, Garcia took a long time to step off the rubber well after Ref Snyder took off for second base. And obviously the infielders are hollering, step off, step off. And watch how long it takes him to step off. By the time he does, it's too late. So now the infield's got to come in.
Yeah, that changes everything. Takes the double play out of the equation. Infield comes in. That is a big, big play.
Yeah, and everybody's hollering step off, but you can see how long it took him to respond to that, and Ref Snyder steals a base.
One and two. And he got him. Fastball up and in. 2 down.
But Garcia, he's been very economical of late. The most pitches he's thrown in his last 5 outings, last night 15 pitches in that outing, and he's got good velocity on his heater. Strikes out Hernandez.
So the infield can afford to back up now with 2 down as the rookie David Hamilton comes to the plate. He is 0 for 2 in the ballgame. Garcia starts it with a called strike. Another ball 0-2. Hamilton is one of 6 players to start at shortstop for the Boston Red Sox this year, including once Bobby Dahlbeck. They had so many injuries, and Dahlbeck back in college was like a shortstop third baseman, right? Third base, great guy though, but I mean he is not a major league shortstop. They have been decimated by injuries up the middle of the diamond. 2 and 2.
David Hamilton playing just in his 10th game. He doesn't have an RBI. He struck out once today. He's 0 for 2. That put him away. Boston has stranded 4 base runners so far in this ball game. Up to 1 on in the first, 2 in the third, and 1 on it. Last thing in the 5th. 2 in scoring position here.
The 2-2 again. Wouldn't bite, full count. Base open, number 9 hitter Connor Wong on deck. Foul. Hamilton was hitting .255 with 11 homers in AAA when he was called up. As that misses just outside for ball 4, and that will indeed load the bases for Connor Wong.
Big Walker jogging out of the Blue Jays dugout. Going to have a chat about Connor Wong. Wong is struck out and popped out. And again, I know Hamilton hadn't had an RBI in that situation. Hadn't had an RBI in his young career, but at the same time, left-handed batter, seen a few pitches, took a pretty good cut at that. I don't have a problem with that walk with the base open at first base, and now Pete Walker trying to put together a game plan for Garcia to end this inning. Connor Wong's been aggressive at the plate early in counts. He had a double and scored a run on Friday night. His only hit in the series, did not start, came in defensively in the game yesterday.
Another big spot here in this one. Bases loaded, 2 down in the 6th. Inside, ball 1. Ball on the strike. He's always got good movement on that two-seam fastball.
Yeah, sure does, especially when he has had ample rest, and he has had a pretty good little break. And we mentioned he pitched yesterday, but his velocity and movement are good here in this outing so far.
A little bit in, 2-1. And now 3-1 with nowhere to put him.
Garcia came in the ballgame and he inherited 2 base runners. He is not allowed an inherited base runner to score this season. He has stranded all 11 he inherited to this point, but now 2 of those runners on base are Tim Mazes.
And a full count. Now we have the ultimate action pitch coming up right now. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Everybody will be moving on the play. And the 40,000 or so here at the ballpark can sense it. Time out for Wong. A huge moment for Garcia and the Blue Jays. The Red Sox leave them loaded. On swinging it, had a double and a home run in yesterday's game. The home run was his 15th of the season. Breaking ball down and in, and he locked it into left. And then with a 3-0 count on him today, Buck, he saw what he liked, and he did what he does so often, hit it hard down the right field line.
Well, he drives in 2. His cue man and Springer will come in to score. Bo was actually thrown out trying to stretch it into a double, but with 2 RBIs today, he has 51 ribbies, just one behind Vladdy Guerrero for the team lead. Been doing his thing. Now he'll face Nick Pavetta. Pavetta has thrown well since entering the game. This is his 3rd inning of relief.
Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Bo's faced Pavetta a lot. He's 10 for 27 against him. A lot of at-bats.
Eric Swanson is up in the pen. So So Gosman, Meza, Garcia have already pitched. Romano's very well rested, but obviously they'll need one or two guys to try to get it to him. And Swanson looks like he is going to face the top of the order, including some of those dangerous left-handed batters the Red Sox have. But the splitter can play when he's on. That splitter can play against lefties. The home run that Swanson gave up yesterday was against Justin Turner, who will be the second batter he faces in the seventh inning. That's the one I have no idea how he gets a piece of. But he does it all the time.
Yeah, 95 upstairs, 2 strikes, fouls it off, and it's over the top 4 seam, and just gets enough of it to keep the bat going.
And went around, says Todd Titchener, the first base umpire, as Bichette strikes out, and we go down to Hazel.
Dan, you guys talked earlier about Belt and that high fastball. John Schneider told me heading into this weekend, it's obvious where they're pitching to him. High heaters are tough for most guys, including Belt. You've got to push him down in the zone. For Brandon, he said pitchers are doing a good job of really attacking that area of the strike zone, but when he gets the ball where he can handle it, he's been as good as anybody over the last month or so. Dan.
Hazel, thank you. So push him down in the zone means take the ones that are borderline high and try to force him to pitch lower to get you to swing, right?
Right, and it's a catch-22 because we see that same approach that pitchers use against Marshall.
Left center. Well hit, and it's gone. Second home run of the game. And Pivetta threw Bell a pitch that he can really handle. A breaking ball down, and Bell deposited it in the seats.
Yeah, it's really surprising he would choose to throw that pitch to Brandon Bell. Bell has 2 hits against Nick Pivetta. And both of those hits have been home runs. He is 2 for 7 against the right-hander. He goes the other way, and that's that slow curveball. He's a low ball hitter. Everybody in baseball knows that. I don't know why they would decide to throw that pitch to him in that situation. But for Belt, that's his 6th home run, second of the afternoon. Watch the location of this pitch, and it is down in his wheelhouse. He never got fooled by the break. He was right on time, and that's a big home run for Brandon Belt.
That's exactly the kind of pitch he likes to hit. His 9th career multi-home run game, his first as a Blue Jay, and it is 4-2. Guerrero has lined out twice today, once to right and once to short.
Yeah, Pivetta's got good velocity on his fastball. That last pitch was 96 to Guerrero, and he was breezing with his fastball, but they chose to throw Belt a curveball. And he hammers it. The home run he hit in the first inning off of Whitlock was a fastball, but it was down about mid-thigh high, and he dropped the head on that one.
Low, a full count on Guerrero. Remember, there were words exchanged between these two last year. Tempers flared a little bit in June of 2022 between these two teams. As Guerrero takes a walk.
Well, Brandon Belt, 2 home runs a day, gives him 181 for his career. As Dan mentioned, his 9th multi-home run game, and this is a good swing. Stays on it, doesn't try to muscle it on the ballpark, just takes it straight away to center field. And that's a big run for the Blue Jays. An extra run here in the 6th gives him a 2-run cushion. 16 doubles and now 6 home runs for Brandon Belt.
So he's driven in a pair, Bichette's driven in a pair, and it's 4-2 Blue Jays bottom six. Pitching coach Dave Bush just came to the mound for a conversation with Pavetta, with Matt Chapman coming up 0 for 2. Fastball, swing and a miss, 0 1. Vladdy's running. And was that fouled off, or did he miss it? That's fouled off. The home plate umpire, Jacob Metz, making the signal to Guerrero that Chapman got a piece of that, so Vladdy's got to go back to first.
Yeah, it was a high cutter, and Chappie fouled it off. Vladdy had a pretty good jump. Weren't expecting him to run.
Well, he's like, hey, if Devers ran earlier in the game, I'm running now.
A foul ball, then he'll go back to first.
So 0-2 on Chapman. Two, and there goes Vladdy again. And he's safe. And he's saying, see, I can rev my engines. He's running.
Vladdy picks up his fourth steal, second steal attempt in this at bat, and he is able to get there. Connor Wong's throw, a little short half again. Hernandez makes a nice grab and that low throw, but Vladdy's in there ahead of the time.
Let's see how close this was.
There's the low throw, and you see the tag on the back by Hernandez, and the bench always appreciative of a Vladdy stolen base.
It's a crowd pleaser. And there was no more element of surprise, right? Because he had tried earlier in the AB, but he still pulled it off. And strike three called. A bit of a delayed call there from Jacob Metz. But Chapman is called out on strikes, 2 down.
This is a breaking ball on the inside part of the play, another overhand curveball, and looks like it catches the inside corner. You can see the umpire, he verbalized strike 3 before he came up with the right hand, so it wasn't quite as delayed as we thought.
Now Dalton Varsho, who has flied out and walked. Looking for a big 2-out base hit here to try to bring Guerrero in.
Varsho walked against Pavetta back in the 4th, but he was stranded as Pavetta would then retire from Mayfield.
Now back 0-2. Good block there by Wong behind the plate. birthday cake they'll have after the game probably tastes a little bit better if you can knock in a run with a base hit. But not here. Strike 3 called to end the inning. But it is a 2-run lead now for the Blue Jays after Brandon Belt's second home run of the ballgame. 4-2 going to the 7th. The Jays Care 50-50 draw is now over $1.1 million. It ends at 10 o'clock tonight. Don't forget, visit bluejays.com/5050 from anywhere in Ontario to get your tickets. And if you are the lucky winner, you will be told about that with a phone call from Buck Martinez. Would that be tomorrow? Is that the plan, Buck?
Yeah, it is around there, and I think I'd be looking forward to that phone call.
I will clear my schedule. I'm available at that
Okay,
time.
I will make sure I have you on speed
Thank
dial.
you. Here's Eric Swanson.
Eric Swanson making his 40th appearance, and it's been a little bit of a rough stretch for him recently. Swanson appeared in the game yesterday and gave up a home run in the 9th inning to Justin Turner on a pretty good split finger pitch. Turner will be the second man to bat in this inning.
Here's Jaron Duran, who is having himself quite an afternoon. He's got 3 doubles already. The first one was a bloop to shallow left, but then one off the fence in right and one into right center. The last Red Sox player with 4 doubles in a game was Rafael Devers back in 2019. This one's pretty well hit to left. Varsho is back, and it's off the top of the fence, but in play, and it's his 4th double of the game.
Boy, he's got quite a swing going right now. That first double was a bloop double down the left field line, and everything else has been hit hard. This has a chance to get out of the ballpark. He stays on it and hits it high and deep to left. It's up near the top of the fence, but stays in the ballpark, right on top of that light blue padding, and bounces back into fair play. So 4 straight doubles, and once again Justin Turner comes to the plate with a runner in scoring position for his 4th time.
He's over 2 with a walk so far today. Good games for Turner Friday night and yesterday afternoon. Quieter so far today. One more note on the doubles, and thanks to our statistician today, Mike DeAngelis, for getting way out in front of it. Just the 3rd time ever that a visiting player has had 4 doubles in a game against the Blue Jays. Rick Miller of the Red Sox in 1981, and then Kirby Puckett did it in 1989. Here's a little looper. Merrifield can't quite get there. And Duran either read it great or gambled, but it pays off, and he comes in to score on an RBI single.
How about Justin Turner having another professional at bat, and he just stays back and gets enough of it to hit it into shallow right field, and Duran got a great read in second. Watch him break. He sized up the situation and takes off, confident that Merrifield wasn't going to be able to make a play, and he scores very easily. He has scored all 3 runs for Boston, and he's a good-looking player. Yeah, it looks like he's starting to figure things out. Well, what an asset, top of the order. He's the first major leaguer this season to have 4 doubles in a game. And Justin Turner picks up another RBI.
And the lead is back down to 1, and there's still nobody out here in the 7th, and now it's Verdugo and then Devers coming up.
Swanson got off to a great start with the Blue Jays. In his first 20 appearances, he gave up just 7 hits in 20 and a third, an opponent's batting average of 108. But in his last 20, he's been hit around a bit. Coming into this game, in his last 19 appearances, over 19 innings, he's given up 15 hits and 4 home runs, including a home run yesterday. For me, it looks like he's going to really look forward to the All-Star break.
Yeah, he's pitched a lot. A lot of close games.
Now, this is his 40th appearance.
He's one of only 5 pitchers in the majors to have 40 appearances so far this year. And Tim Mays is one behind him at 39. Those 2 guys have pitched about as often as anybody so far this season.
Matt Brash, the Canadian of the Mariners, he's got 40 appearances. Emmanuel Clase of the Guardians in the American League, he has 40 as well.
And they're 3 and 2. Turner being held on by Guerrero. And he's running. And it's bounced weakly left side. Charging is Chapman. They'll get Verdugo. Throw to third. Vladdy gets by Bichette. Runner coming home and will score. And the Red Sox have tied it.
Well, how about Justin Turner challenging the defense to make a play on him? He was running on the pitch, and when the ball was chopped toward third, he kept running around second. Guerrero has a great arm, but he threw it offline, and watch this play unfold. Chapman charges in, throws to retire the batter, and then there's the return throw. Bill Varsho was perfectly situated to make a play. He came in from left field. He was backing up the play, but when it bounced off the fence, he bobbled it. He was in a perfect spot to cut down the runner at the plate, but when the ball bounced, he was right there, but bobbled it, couldn't field it cleanly.
And at least for the moment, it's a ground out, obviously, as Turner went to second. And then a 2-base throwing error on Guerrero, allowing Turner to get to third, coming to score. And that's a play Vladdy's made before and likes to make, and he's aggressive in trying to make it, but he threw it offline there. Big swing and a miss, 2-1 on Devers.
Boy, a lot of things going on that play. With Turner starting on the 3-2 pitch, he was running, and he just never slowed down around second. Red Sox had a hit and run earlier in the game with Devers at first and Refsnyder hitting. Refsnyder has a stolen base. Duran has scored 3 runs. Lots of things going on for Boston.
let's see what we can see here on this play. Turner running. You can see Bichette right away knows he's got to go to third. Guerrero right away throws to third. And then Varsho comes over and bobbles it right there. Whether he would have had a play, don't know, but the bobble ended any chance at it. Ball 4. So the Red Sox have tied it. They've got the go-ahead run on now at first base with one out for Rob Refsnyder.
Three hits. You can see he's frustrated. Just breaking ball just stayed over the plate. He's throwing more sliders here in the second half. Actually, that looked like another splitter that Refsnyder just stayed on. But 3 hits and a walk here this inning.
Now Cox swings through a fastball, 0-1. Cox is 0 for 3 with a ground out and a couple of strikeouts. This is one winds up out of play, 0-2. Hits are now 10-5 in favor of the Red Sox today. And the one error in the game is the one this inning charged to Guerrero, which obviously is a key part of this inning for the Red Sox. Swing and a miss, and a ball up, 2 down.
Celebrating home runs at Boston Pizza. Your buds, baseball, and BP. The perfect trifecta.
The Blue Jays were up 4-2 heading into the 7th. Boston has tied it here. They've got runners at first and second with 2 down for Kike Hernandez, who has struck out in all 3 of his at-bats. In the air to center, but right at Kiermaier. And the side is retired. Boston gets 2, though, and we move to the 7th inning stretch in a tie game. 7th, Rafael Devers walked that. He's had a good day, 3 for 3 with a walk, but he's upset with himself because he forgot how many outs there were. He was going back to tag up. There were 2 outs.
Yeah, and it's like, I forgot. There's a lot going on, obviously, but yeah, you got to be in the game a little bit more than that. And Devers has done that from time to time. How about Nick Pivetta? He's done a nice job in relief. Gave up the home run to Brandon Belt, but now he's pitching. This is his 4th inning of relief.
Whit Merrifield is 0 for 2. Back at a play. Checked it, and he did, says Todd Tichenor. 1 and 2 on Merrifield, who will be followed by Alejandro Kirk and Kevin Kiermaier. The Blue Jays once again trying to get the lead back. This game's been going back and forth all day long.
Been a rough stretch for Eric Swanson lately, and he was dominant in his first 20 appearances, and he's probably a little bit out of gas. He's pitched in 40 games now, for the most of the majors. And yeah, he wants to take the ball. Yeah, he's always there, and he'll always answer the call. But there are times when you need to say, "Hey, wait a minute, I need a little blow here." Off day tomorrow, and then the All-Star break a week from tomorrow.
Once again, to Merrifield, and that's there. I must have been looking away. That's where Pivetta had been pitching up, but he got him with a fastball on the inner half. Don't miss the next Junior Jays outdoor program on Sunday, July the 16th. Inflatables, artists, performances, and more. Activities start at 10:30 in the morning and run until first pitch. Visit BlueJays.com/tickets. Fun inside and outside the ballpark in the Junior Jays Sunday. Alejandro Kirk, the batter. He is 0 for 2. That's a fair ball, and it's heading down the line and towards the corner. Kirk will not risk it. He will be content with a long single.
Both hits Pivetta has given up the home run to Belt, and now the base hits Kirk have come on his curveball. And Alejandro, they stayed back on that curveball, and they get it back in. Resnider does a good job of digging it out down in the corner and getting it back in quickly to keep Kirk from advancing.
And Kirk's out of the game. Ernie Clement has come on as a pinch runner. Pitches out of the bullpen so far again for Pivetta, who, as we said, as Buck said earlier, he's been a starter, so he is stretched out. Nobody's throwing for the Red Sox. These are big innings he's giving them. As Kevin Kiermaier tries to make something happen for the Blue Jays, he's 1 for 2. Fly ball to left field, but it will be caught by Refsnyder for the second out. Clement back to the bag. So now Springer, who is 1 for 3. The last 2 times up, he has hit absolute rockets up the middle. 1 for a single, came around to score. And the next one might have been hit even harder. A good play made on it by Kiki Hernandez out at second.
And it just missed the pitcher, Nick Pivetta. Pavetta. It was a breaking ball. It was out over the plate, and George ripped it right over the back of Pavetta. And Kike Hernandez was positioned as he is right now, straight up the middle.
His base hit was hit at 109 miles per hour. His ground out at 104. He is hitting the ball way harder, or he hit the ball way harder in June than he did in April and May. All of his numbers have come way up over the last month plus.
He's got a real quick bat right now, too, and he can wait till the last possible moment before he decides to take or swing, and that bat is flying through the zone.